Hello, I'm Benson and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you a security camera, and this is by Reolink. This is the Elite Floodlight camera in 4K, and basically this is two cameras in one, and they will capture a picture side by side and merge it together, so you get a full 180 degrees view. So I'm quite interested in see how this technology work, and I'm quite interested in showing you guys what your money can buy. So this camera is sent to me by Reolink to test out, but they are not paying me to make this video, so I still reserve my right to say whatever I want about this security camera. Now I will put a link in the description, and if you buy from the link, sometimes I do get a bit of affiliate money as well, which is how I keep my channel growing. Now it comes in a blue box like this, a Reolink, and they actually sent me one of these as well. I'm not sure if you guys will get this or not, but this is extra. Now the reason why I have this as extra is because in the UK, if I need to pull a mains to power this machine, yes, this is run on mains power, 250 volt. And for me to pull power into exterior of the house is actually under regulations. I don't have an existing power outlet on the wall for wall light, but this is more designed for people who already have some floodlights or wall lights and you want to change it into a security camera, double up as a full control over what this floodlight can do. I'm going to use this to power my camera. But I can't wait to show you guys what this camera can and can't do outdoors. So I will double up with my power bank. So this power bank can power 240 volt or 250 volt devices. So if I plug this into this and then give this one power, I can move this wherever I want for the time being. Well, obviously I'm not going to leave that out in the rain. So Elite Floodlight Wi-Fi. So this is connected through Wi-Fi. Item number is F751W. Let's open this and show you guys what your money can buy. So inside the box, you got first layer. You got some sticker that you can tell people that you are recording. In some country, this is actually a legal requirement. Make sure you check about privacy law and data protection as well. Instruction booklet. And they showcase you what are the products that they have on offer as well. So the first layer is all the documentation, and I like the way that this is all recyclable paper. There's no plastic inside yet. So this looks quite futuristic. Black and white plastic outer shell. The mount itself is metal. And you got two cameras here side by side. Let's take off the stickers. Comes with a protective film. There you go. Piano black plastic. Two lens side by side, two big floodlights on top. They are fully articulated, so you can actually twist it left, right, top, down, up, down. It looks like a alien spaceship. Very futuristic, but it is quite heavy. And the back plate obviously can be detached. The back plate is actually metal. So this is a metal part, this is the plastic part. So you got two camera lens, two floodlights, and at the back, you got the three cables that you need to connect: a neutral, a earth, and a live. And this one is a kind of a security cable in case it falls down, so you can anchor it on the wall. To install this on the wall or on the ceiling, you need to install the back plate first. The back plate has 3 screw holes for you to screw it into the wall. And then you got a little kind of a leveler bubble built in. So once you install that, let's say on the wall, then you attach the light on, and then you have the wire can come through the back plate. There's 2 screws which hold the lights into the back plates in the front. The light's kind of in the way, so you might want to tilt it like that, drill this in, and then adjust the lights afterwards. So that's the security camera. And then finally, I've got one more box here. Let's see what other gadgets. So you have a plastic wrench. So this one is to tighten up the ball joint for the camera angle. You got a USB-C cable, a little metal bracket, some screws, and some plastic cover for the hole in the front where the camera base is. I do enjoy unboxing Reolink camera because it's all sustainable packaging. There's not much plastic apart from a few plastic films here. Let's install the camera and have a play.
Step into the world where tech meets the vibe. Benson's on the mic, let him be your guide. Pharmacist by day, tech wizard by night. Breaking it down, keeping the future in sight. Reviewing gadgets.
So it took me about 5 minutes to put this together. So this is a temporary setup for my studio right here. So you got the camera mounted on a pole. So imagine this is the wall outside. And 3 cables that you need to connect. So if you're not sure, then get the electrician to do this. So you've got neutral, live, and the earth, all 3. And then it's now into a plug. Now sometimes if you already have a floodlight and this is to replace whatever that you have on the wall, all you need to do is take off the wall light and attach these 3 wires to your camera. This is what it looks like. You got 2 lights on top that you can move them however you want to adjust them, and then you got your camera. 2 screws to hold the main body onto the wall brackets here, and it's very thoughtful because they have this rubber gasket, so this is a spare one. So after you screw in this and then you plug this in, not just for aesthetic, but actually because this is going to be outside, is to make it waterproof as well. So this is the attention to detail. There's a little gasket at the end of the screw. So when you screw this onto the casing, it stops water ingress. Don't often see it like this. I use one of these easy connectors for the wire, but it comes with these twist nuts, which is quite popular in the US. But I'm not going to use them today. So pretend I plug this into the wall socket, but obviously this is a big power blank. Okay, so now it's power on. So there should be power going into the camera. And I'm going to go into the app. Now I already got a few Reolink cameras, so this...
Welcome to Reolink. Please install Reolink App and scan the QR code on the camera.
Okay.
Willkommen bei Reolink. Bitte Reolink App installieren und den QR-Code auf der Kamera scannen. Bienvenue à Reolink.
Okay, you know what? I'm just going to talk over it because it's just going to go in loop. So you install your Reolink app. Okay, so I'm going to go through the Wi-Fi. I'm going to go through the Bluetooth version. Power on, yes. We can hear the tone.
Welcome to Reolink. Please install
Reset the
Reolink
device.
app and scan the QR code on the camera.
I have heard the voice, yep.
Bitte Reolink App installieren und
Allowed.
den QR-Code auf der Kamera scannen. Bienvenue à Reolink.
Finally. So it asks you what network do you want to connect to, and then you have to give them the Wi-Fi password. Now it does have options of 5 gigahertz or 2.4 gigahertz. So 5 gigahertz is much faster, but you usually need direct line of sight. So I'm going to go with 2.4. And once you connected the camera to your phone, you will be asked to create device password. It's same as all other cameras. After you give the camera a name, you have to sign a few, and you have to agree to a few documents. Now, step by step, they will tell you how to install your camera. Just follow the instruction. Now it's that easy. Straight away, it is ready to use. Now, as usual, I need to turn down the volume or else you get feedback. But basically, this is me. Now, this is set to low resolution. So this is not even like 4K yet. So it's already very clear. So let's change it to 4K. And you can see a 180-degree view of my studio right now. Let me zoom it in. Wow. Can you see what that is? Can you see what that is? I'm not going to tell you. You guys can put in the comment section. I spy my little eyes on a little bit of decoration that I have done. Oh, can I zoom in even more? Wow, really? Oh my god. Obviously now it's a blur, but if I zoom out, that is pretty amazing. And really is actually going from edge to edge. Once I go into low resolution, it's still really clear. So this should give you a little representation of what this camera can do. So you can see my 180 degrees, but there is a line through the middle where the two merge together. For example, if I move to the middle of the two camera, and you can see my face got chopped off, that is the merge line. So the stitch line is kind of working from afar. You can see at the back, the thing line up. So at the back, so my decoration at the back is in one piece, even though it's on two cameras. But because I'm so close, it cut my face off. But if I move out, from here you lost very little merging. But I will show you guys properly in the footage later on when I have it installed outside. And a couple of other functions that you might be interested. For example, you can use it as an alarm. So it does have a siren or alarm built in for the speaker. You can turn on the lights. Wow, this is actually bright because I'm so close to it. It's really bright. And you can talk to the camera. So if you have someone at the door and you want to talk to them. Testing 1, 2, 3.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Hello, who is out there? Alright, so let's see what other function is available. So this is the main menu on the app. So you got display. So you can adjust how much data through the stream. So for example, low resolution, high resolution stream. Frame rate is on auto mode, but you can change it to constant as well. Same as bit rate. So this is to do with how much data or bandwidth that it will use on Wi-Fi. And if you have a fast internet network, then you can just leave it on default. If not, then you can adjust it. Day and night, so you can choose what mode the camera kicks in when there is not enough light. Obviously this one does have a floodlight, so you can have color at nighttime as well. In terms of brightness, this is just for the screen, not for the lights itself. Camera name, I don't like to have a camera name, so I usually just hide it. I do like a timestamp, so this is going to be in the top center. Watermark, I don't like watermarks, so I'm going to turn that off. Privacy mark, so you can mark out parts of the area that you don't want to record. Advanced image stitching, so this is the one I was talking about, like where do you want the two picture to merge. For example, if I move my face to the fault line, so you can see that now it doesn't line up because they are too close together, and you can adjust where that the two will merge best. So for example, if I keep reducing it to the minimum, I don't know what the minimum is. Okay, 2 meters is the minimum. So when you set at 2 meters, as you can see, my face disappears less when I kind of in between two cameras. So that's display. And then for sound, record audio, yes, put on record video. Sound test, noise reduction, so this is to fine tune your camera. Lights, now this is important. So status LED, so you're talking about the middle of the thing here. Now at the moment it's showing blue. So you can actually switch it off if you want a completely stealth security camera. Floodlight, so you have different mode to choose from in terms of the floodlight. You can use it as a normal floodlight, or you can use it as a time device. For example, by default, I think this is always on at night. So you got choice, you can turn it off completely. So in that case, nothing is going to trigger the main light on. Always on at night, so this is dusk till dawn. So it will detect how much light there is. If it is dark, then it will turn it on. Timer mode is, you can actually set, wow, it's way too bright. So you can set at certain time it comes on and goes off, but then obviously summer and winter time is different. Floodlight always on at night mode, we'll change it. So brightness, you can adjust how bright or how dim it is. So for example, if I turn on, just now it turned on. So full brightness, and this is the dimmest. So brightest and dark. And then finally, color temperature. If you, for example, if you don't want the outside look like a surgical theater, you can actually turn the color into a warm instead of cold. If you don't know what I mean, so if you look at the light, it will become yellow or blue. I like them in kind of in the middle. It's more like a daylight color, or 5200 Kelvin if you're a photographer. Actually, let's turn on night smart mode. So you only turn on if it detects different motion, and then you can further dive into what triggers the light. So this is the most useful function for me for a floodlight security camera. So I'm going to turn vehicle off because the vehicle usually have headlights anyway. I'm going to turn off animal because I don't want foxes to wake up my floodlight. So it's only people. Light duration. So how long do you want the light to be on after the person is gone? I usually set about a minute. It doesn't disturb my neighbors too much. Finally, infrared. Now you can have infrared on or infrared off. It depends. Infrared on do attract spiders. If you don't know about it, like if you leave a camera outside with a infrared on, you always have a bunch of spiders start nesting near your camera. So I usually turn it off, especially if you already have some kind of a floodlight system. But in this case, I'm going to leave it on by default. Now, out of all the Rio camera, this is one of the functions that I use the most because I hate having too many false alarm. So here you can set non-detect zone. So for example, if I have a bench here, I don't want it to have false activation, you can actually paint on it to say, actually, I don't want this part to be on motion detection. And then you have a sensitivity. So this is overall sensitivity. So you can tell the camera how far you want the detections to happen. I will say I usually adjust it when it's actually mounted on location. So if I'm still getting too much notification, then I turn it down a bit. If I'm still getting some, then I turn it down a bit. If I'm not getting a lot anymore, I still turn it down a bit just in case I get false alarm. Smart detection, this is another fantastic idea. So I already switched off the floodlight turning on when there is pets, but now you can actually turn down the detection of pets as well. So it doesn't give you information because I don't need to know a fox is coming into my garden. Vehicle, so depends. So if I'm on my drive, then I put down low because I might be looking at the high street. Maybe I'm looking at the street and then car pass by will give me triggers, alarm. Person, which is usually the important one. So I want to know who is approaching my camera as such. So I'm going to save it. So those are the two motion detection options. And then you got alarm delay. Now this one is another very useful one because if my camera is pointing on to the street, then I have lots of people walking by the front. So I usually set it to 3 or 4 seconds. By the time 3 or 4 seconds, they would have walked across the frame already. Object size, this is not something that I use a lot, but just to mention it, you can actually set what the camera will pick up as a motion. I don't really use it, but it is quite handy to have. Now, smart event detection, this is new for this generation of cameras, so I haven't seen that. So I haven't seen this in the previous version. So push notification, if you want to have notification of people crossing your alarm, so you turn on push. Allow critical alert, so if your phone is on silent, do you want to hear about your CCTV camera? I doubt it. Device notification ringtone. So if your camera detects something, then it can play different songs. So after push notification, you got email alert, FTP, siren, link device, time lapse. Okay, so I think that was quite neat. I managed to get the software up and running and install the camera in less than 10 minutes. And now I can finally play around with other settings. For example, I want to record the footage, but I don't want cloud service. So I can install a SD card. And to install the SD card, you need to access the bottom cover. Now, because this one is a waterproof casing, so you have to install this correctly. Now, 2 screws holding the bottom plate on the camera. And again, this one have a plastic gasket around the actual opening to protect. SD card go into the bottom belly where there should be a reset button as well as the SD card slot. It does have a USB port on the bottom as well. Okay, so now the SD card is installed. Let's go into the app again. Now, if you have installed your SD card and wondering where can you get access to formatting your SD card, it's actually on the playback button. So if you press playback, because your card is new, it will come up with the micro SD card of this camera is not formatted. You might not access playback feature. All you need to do is click format, override recording, oldest first, override time lapse, format, and then it takes a minute or two. format successed. And then now it will start to record every time it detected motion. Okay, so this is a testing video. I'm using the Reolink camera. So this is the Elite Floodlights 4K. So the image will be recording in 4K, but merged together to give you the 180 degrees wide angle. Now, as you can see, my face is now cut in the middle, but don't worry about it because usually the CCTV camera doesn't look at something that close up. So it will be quite far away. And then when you set the far, so if I am far away, then I won't be split anymore. Once I've gone out to the too close range, it will actually merge together properly. So this is kind of a range test. I do it for all my security camera. I'm going to walk all the way back until I can't go any further. And I'm going to walk from right all the way to the door and then move all the way to the left until I am out of sight. But in this case, I'm not out of sight because there's two cameras side by side. I can actually right against the wall and I can't escape from the wide angle camera on the side. Okay, Alexa, see you later.
Goodbye.
Turn off the light here as well. So this is not total darkness. I mean, we do have some light spill, but at nighttime, I can actually see the camera with a few, so I can see the camera is on because the infrared is on. So I can see some red dots in the middle and two sides. Now if we move, so this is what the camera can see within the infrared. And this is what my camera can't see without infrared. All right, so let's capture this moment. So if I move, there we go. So this is how bright the floodlights when it's set to 50%. Let me put my camera down here. Okay, so this is 50%. If I turn it off, turn it on. And when you turn the floodlight on, it's actually just full color picture of the area. Okay, let's try and turn it to the max. So I'm going to go into settings, and then you go to light. So you go to floodlights, and then click on that. I'm going to turn, and I'm going to turn brightness all the way up to the max, and then so this is maximum brightness. As you can see on the bench, I'm around 7 meters away. But if I look at the other side of the studio, so all the way over there will be about 9 meters away. And if I turn it back to smart mode, there you go, darkness. So plenty of power. Anyway. So before I install any camera, this is what I like to do. Just a mop-up in terms of like roughly the location of the camera. And because I got my inverter power bank, so I can actually run it anywhere without having to do fixed installation just to test it. So here side by side, you got different options. So here is the wide angle 180 degrees Elite Floodlight in 4K. And that is the Reolink, but this is a PTZ with 2 lenses. At the moment, both of them are live, so if I move around, it will record. So I can show you guys a real footage of what it looks like to have these 2 different cameras. They serve different purposes, but the main thing is both of them should be able to cover all of this width of my garden. But the 180 degrees is always covering all of my garden all of the time, whereas the TrackMix, it really depends on if it is tracking me. For example, if I'm moving here, it's not tracking out, now it's tracking. So now if I move, let me show you. So for example, the 180 always have a camera facing me, whereas the TrackMix really only see me if I'm on the activation mode. Anyway, so now yeah, it's tracking me now. So as you can see, if I move around, it will track me for the fall down. But anyway, so yeah, later on I'm going to show you what the floodlights look like in the dark.
To the world where tech meets the vibe. Benson's on the mic, let him be your guide. Pharmacist by day, tech wizard by night. Breaking it down, keeping the future in sight. Reviewing gadgets, cameras in tow. High-end dreams, a budget-friendly show. Testing the limits, pushing the line. Finding the best, he's saving you time. Lights, lenses, action's the game. Benson's the name, he's changing the frame. Security and tech, he's showing the way. What to buy, what to leave every single day. HD clarity or pixelated blur. He's got the facts, making your choice sure. Zoom in close or pan the whole street. Benson's reviews always on beat. He'll warn you now about the cams to skip. Saving your cash with his expert tip. From budget basics to the pro elite. Trust in Benson, he can't be beat. Lights, lenses, action's the game. Benson's the name, he's changing the frame. Security and tech, he's showing the way. What to buy, what to leave every single day. Behind the scenes, he's testing it all. From motion sensors to cameras on the wall. Budget warriors, don't you fear. Benson's advice keeps your vision clear. So tune in now, let the reviews play. Benson's here to light your tech-filled way. Cameras rolling, the future is bright. With Benson's reviews, you're seeing it right. Lights, lenses, action's the game. Benson's the name, he's changing the frame. Security and tech, he's showing the way. What to buy, what to leave every single day. Lights, lenses, action. Benson's a tech reaction.
With the latest update, they introduced the local AI video search function. Now this is my CCTV setup. The Elite Floodlights is in the front of my house. and it's constantly monitoring, and the resolution is fantastic. It is set to record 24/7. Sometimes I find it very hard to find pinpoint specific things that I'm looking for. So I'm really interested in this AI system. Although it's beta stage, but I did get some really good results. So as you can see, I can scroll through my daytime video, and I can scroll through my nighttime video as well. But let's say I want to find something. So you go to the AI video search by clicking on the magnifying glass, and you can narrow it down to the dates that you want. Now this search is actually done locally, not by the Reolink server. So you got your people AI recorded footage, and you got your vehicle recorded footage. Now, as you can see, if I put a general car search, as you can see, because I left it on 24 hours continuous recording, and if I just type in generate car, 701 segments. So this is how many videos you need to scroll through to find what you actually looking for. So let's change the keyword to something else. Let's put in delivery, because most of the time this is what you're looking for. You want to see when the delivery happened, or if the delivery guy left it at the right place. So there you are. It narrowed it down from 701 entry to just 77, which is still a lot. But so there are bound to be a lot of delivery driver, even if it is like briefly passed by, which could be a good thing, could be a bad thing, depends if you really want something just recording your driveway or you're recording everything. So I'm recording everything. Now let's try and search for people. So the AI pick out all the footage for people, person. So we switch to person, and then we did the same search. So here is my delivery, which is a pretty useful function to have. The AI search is only as good as what you put in. So for example, let's be more specific. Black shirt. No one has a black shirt. Let's try something else. How about a white search instead? Now it should give me something, because white shirts is really popular. So here we go, we got 2 entry. All right, so someone coming back from work, I think. Walking up. Oh, and who is this person? That's me. So let's type in just simple things like men. How many men recorded? Quite a lot. Another delivery. Right, how about women? Now this function might be quite popular with housewife. So how many women recorded? Not many. Not as many as men. All right, so okay, so that is my family. So I'm safe. Let's see what else is on there. That's my wife. So there we go. They say time goes quickly when you're having fun, and I thoroughly enjoyed making this video. And before you know it, this is 30 minutes into this edited version of video. And I still haven't covered Home Assistant or automation or anything like that yet. So that will be, I guess, part 2 of this particular camera. My testing site is not the best because it is still a narrow corner. I think this camera really showcases 180 degrees wide angle. So I'm not sure how I'm going to do it, but this camera probably belongs to the front of my house where I'm going to see the whole street. But there is problem recording other people's houses and stuff like that, which I won't go into details with this particular video. I really think this camera will be beneficial for a lot of you out there, especially if you have a wall which is really, really wide and there's already a wall light built in. So take off the wall light, put this in, connect 3 wires, and you have a fantastic 180 degrees spread video. Now it's not without its downside, but if you have a camera which is so close to the person, there is a split line in the middle where you're not going to get the full picture, so there will be a gap. You can adjust that on your software by making it shorter or longer distance before they merge together. But I think the closest distance you can have is about 2 meters. If you have a wall which people walk right next to it, you're going to have a narrow gap which is going to be missing in video. You won't have that problem if it is hang up high up, a bit further from your subject. After 2 meters, they merge quite good, so you know you're not going to miss too much of the image. And by 8 meters onwards, you're not going to miss anything. You're just going to stitch together just like a normal wide angle camera. And at 180 degrees, even the widest camera is not going to cover as good as this particular CCTV camera. The setup is fantastically easy. I do have a router servicing my garden, so reception wise there is no problem. But for you guys who got weak Wi-Fi or a lot of interference, then you might need to go for a wired version, which I don't know if they're going to bring one out yet. If you enjoy watching this video, don't forget to check out my other Reolink security cameras videos. And if you find my information useful, don't forget to share, like, and subscribe to my channel to help me grow. Can't wait to see you next time with more interesting gadgets. Bye-bye.
DIY runs in his veins, there's no turning back. 2 kids by his side, a family so tight, a loving wife who's his beacon of light. In a world so fierce, he's carved